Welcome back, Mass Effect fans, and today we're diving deep into the Mass Effect universe to explore an intriguing what-if scenario. What if the controversial Refusal ending for Mass Effect 3 was considered the canon ending and served as the foundation for Mass Effect 4 or whatever the next Mass Effect game is going to be called? So grab your omni-tools and let's get started.
Lockhart QT.
Now, before you mass dislike the video and write an entire essay in the comments below on how I'm wrong, hear me out. So, before we jump into sort of the actual story and how it implements, how the Refusal ending can be implemented, let's quickly recap the Refusal ending for Mass Effect 3. In this ending, which is considered to be, for many, a non-canon choice, as essentially Commander Shepard rejects the Catalyst's options, refusing to make any of the choices presented to him or her: control, synthesis, or destruction, or even the perfect destroy ending, for example. This act leads to the mass destruction of the Reapers as well as all the mass relays, and it's implied with the special sort of ending that you get with the guy talking to the child with the sort of view of the galaxy that is technically hundreds of years in the future. It's implied that most life was destroyed, and you even get a message from Liara as well. But the only problem with this is that BioWare now have, with making another Mass Effect game, a monumental task on their hands, because not only do they have to factor in Andromeda, but they've also got 3 separate endings with hundreds and thousands of choices from all of the 3 original trilogy games, being Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3. So this is going to cause them to have a development nightmare, and why Andromeda was a bit easier to write for, because it was essentially a fresh start, it was a blank slate. And I feel like instead of creating a game where it has hundreds of different things going on right at the start, right out of the gate, I feel like the next Mass Effect game might just focus in on one ending. What if the next Mass Effect game had the canon choice of having the Refusal ending? This would give them the blank slate to work with and would essentially create a whole new story path for Shepard and co. So here is my theory and sort of what if scenario. So before I go any further, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and for more Mass Effect content, stay subscribed. So let's get right into it. Mass Effect 4 or Mass Effect 5 or Andromeda 2 Electric Boogaloo, whatever the next game is going to be called, from now on I'll just call it Mass Effect 4 for easiness, opens with a breathtaking cinematic sequence showcasing the devastating aftermath of the Refusal ending. The galaxy is in turmoil and absolute chaos, with mass destruction raining down across all civilizations. Mass relays are scattered, and civilizations and entire species are cut off from one another. The once united council races from the ending of Mass Effect 3 are now scattered and perhaps fighting against each other for resources, power, and just to survive across the Milky Way. But the chaos is not the only thing to worry about. In the absence of the Reapers, new threats have emerged. Ancient races, once kept at bay by the Reapers, have returned with their own agendas. These new enemies perhaps could be the Remnant or something else. Again, I feel like bringing back the Reapers would be a bit I feel very satisfied with the ending of Mass Effect 3 personally myself, so I feel like bringing back the Reapers would just be a bit of an thing to do. It'd be like, it would sort of undermine all 4 endings from Mass Effect 3, so personally I would like to see a new enemy altogether. But, and I know the main question you're probably asking here is, with the absence of the Reapers and this new enemy, where is Commander Shepard in all of this? Well, it turns out that Shepard survived the Refusal ending. Thanks to the combined efforts of their loyal crew, Shepard has been in cryosleep for several centuries. Either that or just Miranda clones him or rebuilds him again, sort of RoboCop style. It's like, we've rebuilt you, but better. Awakening to a galaxy vastly different from the one Shepard knew before. Shepard, driven by their unyielding determination to protect the galaxy, takes on the role of Spectre once again, uniting the scattered races and rebuilding the mass relays, hopefully to fend off this upcoming threat. This quest for unity and restoration forms the central narrative for Mass Effect 4, and I feel like I said before, this would be the fresh start that BioWare could use. Mass Effect 4 introduces a host of new characters, or at least I hope so, because I don't just want the entirety of the Normandy crew to be playable again. I feel like that would, we've been there, we've done that. However, personally, I would prefer a few fan favourites to return, such as Tali, Garrus, Liara, and some other familiar faces. Maybe characters who didn't get the main spotlight in their respective games. Perhaps they get more of a shine here. For example, Kasumi would be a really good example of that. I feel like having a host of new characters and old favourites return to help Shepard on their mission would be great for this sort of new story. In this new chapter, exploration and diplomacy will play a significant role. You as the player will have to negotiate with different races from essentially the Alliance, as well as maybe perhaps Cerberus. For example, with a power vacuum, Cerberus could just step in and try to take control, and I feel like Shepard in this new story would have to make crucial decisions that affect the future of the galaxy. But I do think that the Refusal Ending is a really interesting one. Personally, I would prefer something else, but I feel like this would create the blank slate that BioWare would need. I feel like the Refusal Ending would be 10 times easier to write for than having a game right out of the bat, having all 3 endings being destroy, synthesis, control, sort of selectable. I have no idea how BioWare would even implement that into a new game. It might be that you have to answer, say, a questionnaire or like an interactive cutscene or a comic to sort of make your choices from the previous games, because I don't think, unless they implement the Legendary Edition save files, I cannot see them sort of implementing that, especially if the game comes out on even a new set of consoles, if it is delayed that far into the future, God forbid. But again, we're sort of thinking 2025, 2026 for the next Mass Effect, so hopefully PS5, Series X, and obviously PC. I think PC is a lot easier to do sort of importing save data, which I've done a video on if you guys want to go watch that. But for me personally, the Refusal Ending would be really interesting, because if the Reapers sort of have wiped out most life and they've given humanity another chance, perhaps Shepard and some other characters could essentially try to save the galaxy once again. But there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching another Mass Effect video from myself and the potential beginnings of Mass Effect 4 based on a Refusal Ending being canon. It would be a galaxy in ruins, a new enemy on the horizon, and it would essentially be Shepard leading the way forward once again. Thanks for joining me on this speculative journey through the Mass Effect universe once again. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things regarding the next Mass Effect, as well as deep dive into the past essentially to look at Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3. I've got videos on that. And as always, share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Tell me, do you like this theory of the Refusal Ending, or would you rather have something like Perfect Destroy be canon? Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!